Hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another of our Launchpad Artist Conversations. This week we're going to be chatting to Tyron Webster, who I'll just wait to join. Just one moment. Just wait for him to request to be in the video. There we go. Hi.
Hi, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. That's always the fun, slightly awkward bit at the start where I just get to sit there for about a minute, like.
And you just like, okay.
Yeah. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Yeah, all right. Just it's absolutely peeing it down here. I don't know about you, but
Yeah, no, it is, yeah. But it's always raining in Manchester, though, to be fair. So
true. Yeah. How's life treating you in Manchester?
yeah, it's good. Yeah, just plodding along. Tier 3, though, isn't it? So it's a bit like
Yeah.
extreme at the moment.
I
But yeah,
know
it's fine.
it's looking that way for West Yorkshire as well.
Oh, is it?
We're on the cusp, yeah. So I'm expecting that any day now, to be honest.
Yeah.
But kind of got used to just holding up inside, to be honest.
Yeah. Just like hiding away.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, yeah, welcome to another artist support conversation. This week we're chatting with Tyron Webster, who is joining us now. And we're going to talk a little bit about the support and things that you've had, what you've been up to, mainly having a chat about the Launchpad support that you received over the last year, and also some other bits and pieces, like I hear about the Come Play With Me support and
Yeah.
things. It's brilliant. So maybe let's just start with, if you could just tell people a little bit about kind of who you are, what kind of music you make, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, cool. So I'm Tyron Webster. I'm a musician, singer-songwriter. My music is kind of like, if I was putting a genre, I don't really like genres. I feel like music has little bits from every single genre, but I'd say like R&B, it falls more into that category. Little sad boy vibes, really.
Yeah, but definitely like I find your music very uplifting still. It's still like,
Okay,
you know,
cool.
you can kind of,
Yeah,
it's got like a sad tinge to it, but still kind of makes you want to groove a bit, you know?
yeah. I feel like the lyrical content is always a bit sad. Like, I'm just a sad boy, but like I feel like you can find like happiness within sadness as well. That's how I kind of look at it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so you were successful in getting some Launchpad support with Music Leeds last year. So you're originally from Leeds, but currently
Yeah,
live in Manchester.
yeah. So I'm originally from Leeds. I lived there for like 20, I grew up there anyway. And then I went to uni there as well. I went to Leeds College of Music, but now it's Leeds Conservatoire, I think.
Yeah, everything changes.
Yeah, everything's like changing. So yeah, I've then moved to Manchester as well, and then I kind of like float between the two, to be honest.
Yeah, crossing into both worlds, Yorkshire and
Yeah,
Manchester.
just a northern powerhouse. Like I've got the best of both.
Yes, yes, mate. Yeah, so you kind of got the full shebang with the Launchpad support, didn't you? And actually, you got live opportunity, recording support, and mentoring.
Yeah.
So the live support, we could start there, which was a brilliant show. You know, when we Launchpad Music Leeds put together Live in the Square, an actual in real life show in Millennium Square on their big main stage, which feels like a lifetime ago
I
now.
know, yeah, memories. No, yeah,
And
that
you
was a really good
got to
event.
play that. So yeah, how did you find that?
Yeah. No, it was really, really good because obviously, like most of the main concerts, like growing up in Leeds, would be in Millennium Square anyway. So like, it's quite good to like be there and actually performing, and then like have my family come down and watch and stuff. And it was just
Yeah,
such a good event as well. Like there was so many like talented people there as well, and it's good that it was like all unsigned acts and stuff, which makes it even more special, I think.
yeah, it did feel really special, didn't it? Really, really varied, and I felt like it was a really good opportunity for, like you say, unsigned bands to be playing on such a massive stage with like that professional level of
Oh my
sound
God,
and
yeah, defo.
everything. Yeah, so that was really great. Obviously, we managed to film that, so people can watch that back on our Music Leads YouTube channels as well. So yeah, check that out. And then you applied for the mentoring support as well. And am I right in thinking that you did that with Scott?
Yeah, I did that with Scott. So that was actually really, really good, to be fair. I think that was like the most productive thing out of everything that I got out of it in
Right.
terms of what I needed at the time. Like I
Yeah.
feel like because usually I do like with a mentor it was good because like he went through like what areas I didn't feel comfortable in, and like at the time it was like more like the back of house sort of stuff for the music, if you know what I mean. It's like more
Hmm.
like the admin side of things and
Hmm.
like all stuff like that. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good. We had some sessions with him, and he'd get like you'd send like you get like a sheet back, like you'd fill in the feedback and stuff, and then every session just got better and better. To be fair.
Yeah. So kind of helped you work through a bit of a process over a number of sessions and like sort of a bit of a learning experience.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
because I
really
know
good.
some of our artists do singular sessions with different we say mentors, but I guess mentoring can give the wrong idea of what it is. It's not always just, we don't always do it with one person. Like the ones some artists have had, like yourself with Scott, have been the same person, but I guess it's
Yeah.
kind of industry advice, isn't it? So you, like practical advice and support.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Which
did
I
you
think
feel like,
like
go on.
sometimes like especially with me, I'm more like I feel like I concentrate more on like the creative side of things, actually creating the music.
Yeah.
And then when it gets to like planning a release, like you get to like all the admin side and like what you need to do for that. And it's just like at first it was all like confusing and stuff, like creating smart links, doing stuff like that. Like it's just things that you don't really think about when you're making the music, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
But that's always
I think that's a really good point, isn't it? That you know, to be able to get, for us to be able to give artists that kind of support, I think is really important, because a lot of artists do, you know, you spend that time on the creative side, on the music side of things, and you've got to kind of get your head around the things that you need to do that you didn't expect as well, like
yeah. And especially
maybe a
being like
budget or yeah.
yeah, especially being an independent artist as well, like being grassroots, like you kind of forget that side of things. So it's really, really helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really helpful. I think it's really helpful for like longer term learning as well, because you know, even if you go on to become signed or something like that, you know, work with a label or work with a team, if at the start of your career, if you kind of learned how to do some of those things, you've got a bit more control. So if you do work with a bigger team, there's the potential there in the future to be like, well, I know how this should be done, so I'm gonna like crack the
Yeah.
whip a bit.
Yeah, then you kind of don't have to like wait on other people to do it as well. You can just kind of do it yourself and you give
Yeah,
feedback. Yeah,
totally.
that's cool.
Yeah, totally. And then, so the recording support that you got, I think, because I wanted to chat about that a little bit, because I think some people that apply for Launchpad with us, and I know when we first started out, there was, I think a lot of people had the idea that it had to be specifically towards like recording a release or recording a
Mm,
single. But you took a bit of time, didn't you, to figure out what to do with it, and we ended up doing a
yeah.
live session with you.
Yeah. So I like at the time I didn't have, I just thought it was like exclusive, like, oh, here's some support to record a song. But at the time I wasn't recording any new music at the time. Like it was just
Yeah.
more concentrating on I already had what I was going to release. So then I think I took some time, and then we had a discussion, and then we did the live session with Square One, was it? Square
One,
One
yeah.
Sessions,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was for my release at the time, which was Dancing with a Broken Heart. So yeah, that was really fun actually, really cool. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was really, really cool.
Yeah, it looks and sounds really great. I watched it earlier actually, just to recap,
Yeah.
and
Oh, thank you.
it's really good. It comes across really well, and I think, you know, I think being able to do like a live, and obviously like we're kind of now in a world of, that's the option of getting performance out there in the world, isn't it,
Yeah,
without gigs? So actually getting to learn how to do that kind of thing, or the opportunity to
yeah,
actually do a live thing, because it is different to a music video, and it's different to
yeah.
putting out a single.
I feel like it's more intimate, I think, like because it's your raw vocals at the time. Like it's not like
Mm,
just you performing over the recorded studio version. Like I do prefer live sessions like that in respect.
Yeah, I mean it's quite a lot of pressure, isn't it, to
Yeah.
to get it right when you know it's being live recorded and filmed. But
Yeah. And it was good to see that side of it as well, like what you need to do to go into that. Because like even if the time comes, I know what I need to hire, who I need to hire, and like how it looks on the cameras, really, really rare. So it was really cool.
yeah, so hopefully that can help with like going forward. If you want to do some live recorded stuff, you kind of will know what to expect a little bit. And like I
Yeah,
said,
definitely.
especially now, there's the
I
likelihood that
know.
that's going to happen for a lot more
I know,
people.
yeah. I think that is going to be like the way to get your gigs out, really, is just doing the live session recordings.
Yeah, it's a bit mad, isn't it?
Sadly, yeah.
Uh,
I do miss like just being in a crowd because obviously during lockdown I did do like some online gigs and stuff, but it just
yeah.
isn't the same. Like me just singing in my bedroom, just like
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? Because it's like you still want to have a performance element or get your music across to people, but at the same time, there's such you can't really beat that, in real life connection and
no, like vibing with
atmosphere
the stage and stuff.
and the sound as well. The like real
Yeah,
loudness of it all and stuff.
actual music.
Yeah, it is a shame, but we're all doing what we can, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. You've got to adapt.
Exactly. I think it'd be good to tell people like a little bit about where you were at when you applied for Launchpad. Like, did you have a bit of a plan of what you wanted to do? Because I know you briefly talked about you had a single that you wanted to release, but what was your sort of intention when you applied for Launchpad, and what were you looking for before you actually did it?
So I think it was, I can't even remember this far back, but I think I was
Yeah.
just getting ready to release my second single was Dancing with a Broken Heart. And I think why did I just thought it was really I just read it and I thought it was a really good opportunity, like especially like the mentoring side of it and like the live performance side. Because I do think that is quite important, especially when you are like an independent artist and you are grassroots. Like any support that you can get, like definitely jump at the opportunity because you don't have like big label heads behind you, like spending all this money on you, spending this PR, marketing and stuff. So like I really applied for it just to get the support, the help, and just to see. To be fair, it was the first thing that I ever applied for that was like that. So I was
Mm,
kind of like, just like, oh, I'll just do it, see what happens from it. And it has like, because it was such a success, like it has spurred me on to apply for other things and stuff. Like usually I'm a bit like hesitant on like
mm.
applying for stuff like that. I don't know why. I just always like just like doubt myself, a bit of self doubt or whatever. But that's really getting the Launchpad stuff really did help me overcome that as well. So
Yeah, that's really good to hear. I think, and I think we've talked to some other people, some other artists as well about things like the help musicians applications that they've made, some people that haven't been successful. I know when I've done it myself, we weren't successful the first time and did it again. And just
yeah,
that idea that you've got to mentally get used to applying for stuff, getting rejected, trying again, trying a
yeah,
different route. And sometimes it's very difficult not to take it personally, isn't it? And
yeah,
I think it's more about yeah, just being able to say it might just not have been the right time for me that six
yeah.
months ago, and then
I did,
you've done more work.
yeah. I did just apply for the Mobo Help Musician Fund.
Did you?
Yeah, then unfortunately I didn't get it, but like it was my first time applying for like something like that. Like it was like was it like £3,000 and like
Hmm.
the application was quite long. But then I did get shortlisted, so I did receive
Oh, that's really
feedback,
good. That's
which
really
is really,
good.
really good. So that like I wouldn't have done that if I didn't apply for musician is the launch pad, do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's really good. I feel like it is a bit daunting at first, like and also like having to explain your project, like even though in your head you know what your project is and your vision is, but then actually writing it down
Hmm.
like in this application is a bit like oh, so it's like making that transition from like your mind to words, which obviously comes better with experience and stuff as
Yeah, and did
well.
you find that a useful like practice as well to sort of try and get what was in your head into more? Did it help you make a plan or like help you?
Yeah, well, I'm a Virgo anyway, so I am quite like plan, 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 plan.
Mhm.
So I kind of just like I did find it quite not easy, but not exactly too hard. But I just think I just find it hard, like my vision, like if that makes sense, like
Mhm.
my actual vision. Like I have the plans of like studio time, da 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 da, let's do this, let's do that. But then just the actual vision of what I want the message to be and like writing it down and stuff. and getting it into 250 words as well. Like I just love ranting, so that was also tricky.
Yeah, it's a challenge, isn't it? You'd think that sometimes it'd be more. I think for some people it's challenging to find the words. For people, I'm the same. I'm very, and
Yeah.
it's hard to actually reduce and be concise and be like, this is my plan. These are the main points, and actually like get practiced at doing that. But yeah, all of these things like come with time. Like you've said, it has helped you to practice, so that's really good. And
Yeah,
also
definitely.
a tip, just a live tip. We've just seen that the Help Musicians Mobo has just opened again, so should
Yeah.
definitely be
Yeah,
trying again for it.
Tony from Come Play With Me emailed me about it actually, so
Amazing.
that's really good. Yeah, Come Play With Me being really, 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 really good.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about the support you've had with Come Play With Me as well.
Yeah, so I applied for the vinyl release, which is out. It's going to be out like beginning of next year. Which is I do really like Come Play With Me. Like the diversity and like the inclusion of the just them as a whole and what they do and like who they put on the roster and stuff. I've always found quite interesting, amazing. Like and it even
Yeah.
before the whole BLM thing as really BLM movement, like
Mm-hmm.
even before that, like it's not tokenistic. Whenever like I get an email from them, I actually look forward to it. So I have been like talking with like Tony and then like Eva, I think her name is, for the
Yeah,
upcoming final release. So I'm gonna have a song on that, which is really exciting actually. Really
amazing.
cool.
So
But yeah, like
that's a compilation vinyl album, isn't it, with a kind of
yeah,
range of northern artists.
yeah, a range of northern artists from like marginalized backgrounds and different walks of life, which is amazing. Like to give people the opportunity, which is really good. And the song in it is really, really good, which is written by me and my producer Chris Durkin. So that's all
Amazing.
good. It's gonna be
Yeah, I really
good.
look forward to that. That'll be
Yeah,
amazing.
no, yeah, it's really, really good. Like Chris sent me the like one of the mixes for it the other day, and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. But to be fair, whenever Chris sends me anyway, I always get like a bit gassed anyway. So
Is Chris your guitarist as well? Or is
that
that different
he's my producer, but then so
producer?
on the live gigs he does like the electric side of it, so like the MIDI, the drum pads and stuff
Ah,
like
yeah.
that.
So there's
So
normally
yeah,
three of you live, isn't there?
yeah. There's Adriano on guitar, and then
Ah, yeah.
Chris doing the electric side.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
That's all really exciting. Um, is there is there any like tips you might give to people that are thinking of applying for this kind of support? Like I know you talked a little bit about self-belief and confidence and things, so
Yeah.
maybe one of something around that, or any practical tips you might want to share at
Um,
all.
I just think like just don't try to shrink yourself to fit in what you think people want to hear. Like I was completely like just honest and upfront like on mine. Like I do feel like I did have thoughts to be like, oh, do you think I should write this? Do you think I should write this? But I would just completely so like be completely yourself because that's what's going to make you stand out in applications like this anyway. If you just think that the way you apply for things is like robotic or like there's a blueprint, then it's just not gonna get your project out there, if you know what I mean. And then
Yeah.
also just like yeah, self-belief. Like and also if you've got friends that like get friends to read over your application, it's always good to have like a fresh pair of eyes. Or if you've got somebody within the music industry that like you look up to or has done this sort of thing before, like just get them to like, oh, do you mind just looking over my application? Like it'd be really helpful. Like everyone's like I get quite scared like asking, not scared, but like I'm quite hesitant asking stuff like that. Like 'cause I feel like I'm becoming a burden on people. Like people actually like, oh no, yeah, definitely. Like I was quite shocked at like people actually wanting to help in a way.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, isn't it? I think generally speaking, that if people, especially people that you know and are supportive or friends anyway, at this level of applying for things like Launchpad, do have your back and do want to see you succeed. So I'm
Yeah,
sure, and obviously, like trusting that people can be honest with you and things is a is a good thing as
yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, it's
Um,
definitely important. Like 100%.
Yeah, and then I think, as you kind of move on or move through different things, like you can start to, through Launchpad, for instance, you will have made more connections with different people, and there's obviously the people at Music Leads, Launchpad can play with me. So now you can begin to ask these people for support for,
Yeah,
the next
definitely.
things, like you briefly mentioned about getting Tony to help with the Help Musicians Mobo fund
Yeah,
application, like it feels like that kind of growing your network a little bit and continuing that support is really important.
Yeah, no, yeah, like the whole, I feel like you just said then, like music leads, come play with me, Launchpad, like it's kind of like I feel like it's kind of like I've been taken under the wing, kind of like it's like kind of like a little family. I think like I get
Yeah.
emails about opportunities, like I'm still kept in the loop, which I think is really really cool. Like it wasn't just after the year, like I just got like dashed to the side or forgotten about. Like it's been continuous even after as well, which is really really good and really important.
Yeah, that's really good to hear that you feel like that. And I think we're all really keen to celebrate all the artists that we've supported. You know, obviously,
Yeah,
like it's important for us to show people what we're doing and try and get more funding so we can keep supporting more and more artists. But like you say, like a genuine, and I think that's a very northern thing, right? To like
yeah.
to try and build that genuine community and support
Yeah.
for
It's like
artists.
even in the mentoring, when I had the mentoring with Scott, like I was a bit nervous at first because I thought, oh, this is just going to be like he's going to be reading off a sheet, like it's like A, B, C, D, like. But it was very like genuine, like, and you could tell that with like how much he actually wanted to help with the project and stuff. So that was really good.
Mm,
And like you say,
yeah,
like it just is a northern thing, like which is really nice.
yeah, yeah. That's it. I think everyone just kind of, you know, everyone I've met, and I've, you know, I've been in Leeds for years and years now as well, and just that idea of not being in competition with each other, and you know, sharing things. And I've shared my applications as an artist with other artists, and you know,
Yeah,
people give me a shout, and out of work time and things, you know, like everyone just wants to help each other, and I think
yeah. And I
that
think
there's proof that that's working, you know.
yeah, I think it's very important as well. Like I feel like I feel like at the moment as well, there's not enough like collaborating within the music industry because people do think, oh no, like why should I help this person? Why should I help that? But like it's just like I think it's just something you should do, like help each other up, especially when we're like independent and like starting out and stuff. Like I think that's very important to like utilize your network, build contacts, and just help each other. Like
Yeah.
why not? What have you got to lose? Like
Definitely, and especially when it comes to gender minorities and
yeah,
backgrounds and you know, all sorts of things
oh
like
yeah,
that. I
hundred
think
percent.
it's like extra important, isn't it? Which is why, you know, like things like the Come Play With Me initiative, this compilation album is specifically for LGBTQ people of marginalised genders, isn't it? So
Yeah, yeah.
that's really great. But yeah, it's I think it's a really positive thing, and it's really helpful to hear from artists like you about your experiences, and hopefully, you know, more people will watch these videos and can learn from it and be encouraged to apply for support, because
Yeah,
that's what we
hopefully.
want.
Yeah,
What
hopefully.
makes the world go round, or
Exactly,
our world.
yes. Especially in times like this, like we
Yeah,
need to just lift each other up 100%.
yeah, definitely. Is there anything that you want to shout about before we head off? Like, what are you doing at the moment? Have you got anything else coming up?
So just at the moment, I'm working on my EP with Chris, my producer, Chris Durkin. Shout out to Chris. So yeah, we were looking to release that in November, but obviously with like COVID, there's been like studio closures, loss of gigs, loss of red. So we're re-strategizing. So that'll probably be out like maybe beginning of next year. Give us some more time to like finalize things and stuff. But yeah, I'm literally just carry on writing, just any opportunity really. It's quite weird times, like I just don't know, like I kind of got upset like the other week when like about it all, like I kind of like took a breather and took a step back and was like, oh my god, like I might not be on a stage for like god knows when. Like it's just, I think it's just like crazy times and just quite it can be quite harrowing, but I feel like you just
Yeah.
got to try and push on. Like I just keep on writing loads.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? I think that idea as well. And I think as artists, you know, we're all sensitive people, and it's sometimes quite hard to just be like, yeah, I'm just going to stay productive and keep writing and stuff. And it's okay to just not for a while if
Yeah,
you
I did
don't.
struggle. Like in the first lockdown, like I did struggle. I was like, oh, I should be up doing this, doing that. I should be writing X amount of songs a day. I should be writing lyrics for this, doing that, doing that. But it just like I read back, like I found my notebook the other day and I read back and I was like, what was I even writing? Like you can tell I was just like writing for writing's sake. But yeah, like especially in times like this, like you need to just let your body like just get used to it and like take it as a time to like recharge, rest, recuperate. Like I did struggle a bit. Like I felt like I always had to be like up doing something. Like, but just you're on your own path. You're on your own time. You're your own person. There's not like
Yeah.
one way of doing things. Like,
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, isn't it? It's really made it obvious to me even more so how individual everyone's needs are and how individual artists are, and obviously everybody in the world, but in terms of talk about artists, like, you know, we're also individual, everyone's got totally unique needs. And, you know, I think programs like Launchpad help musicians, and working with organizations like Come Play With Me, I think we're all very aware of that. And I think that's a really positive thing, because you can't always be 100%, you can't always be, you know, and like you say, it's a challenging time. And I think people are feeling, you know, we're feeling a sense of loss, you know, especially with gigs and live music.
I mean, like for independent artists, that's like one of your main incomes is like live performance, getting out there gigging. So like it really is like a loss, 100%. Like, which is sad.
But I'm kind of hoping as well that this might make people a little more grateful and patient with artists making new music, you know, so when we do manage to put music out, it's really celebrated, or, you know, there isn't this treadmill of like, oh, you've released something, now quickly get something else out. Like maybe we can just take our time with things a little more and do what's right for everyone.
And who knows, we might even get like better music. Like people might actually just, when you listen to an EP, it might be like an actual whole journey rather than it just being like a collection of songs. Like people have more time. And I think especially like just what's quite reassuring is just to know that you're not alone in this. Like it's not any fault of your own that you're not out there gigging, because you just can't do it. Like so it's not any fault of your own. I do think people need to really support their friends that are artists and musicians and stuff, as like by streaming the music more so than like say like the big labels, because like I think they'll be fine like during this pandemic. Like they think it's more like your independent artists and like your friends and stuff that you really need to like put your arm around, like even if it's just like lending them, like if you're a photographer, like, oh, do you want to do like shoot, or like just helping each other out, like especially in this time, creating content, helping each other, I think is really important. I
think that's a really good shout. All right, well, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for chatting to us, Tyron.
Lovely chatting to you.
It's kind of, you know, it's kind of, for me, it's also quite nice doing these chats, because it's like those chats when you've just, you know, played a gig and you get to have a conversation afterwards. It's kind of as close to that as we can get
right now. So
it's been really great. And thanks and good luck with everything. Can't wait to hear the Come Play With Me compilation as well.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Take care. All the best.
You too. Take care. Bye. Bye.